Yeah. So today it's going to be a follow-up session to the Word2Vec lectures I gave a few days back, and this is going to be something called glove embedding. So I will cover the glove embedding today. What does glove mean? It just means global vectors. It's an acronym for global vectors for words. So the idea behind glove, it's actually quite simple. It's a very elegant approach that has been taken by the authors of glove. So what they have used is co-occurrence. I'll just mention those words. Co-occurrence matrix. So this is the global co-occurrence of word pairs. So if we, in matrix notation, let us say we have words V1, W1, W2, and so on up to W, as many as the number of words in the vocabulary along the rows, and likewise W1, W2, dot, dot, dot. So you have a matrix here which has rows and columns as these W's. So any particular intersection, in this case it's x12, and along this, for example, x23. So what does this x12 and x23 represent? It represents the number of times word 1 and word 2 co-occur, and x23 represents the number of times word 2 and word 3 co-occur. Obviously this will be a symmetric matrix because number of times W1 and W2 co-occur is same as number of times W2 and W1 co-occur. So this has a symmetricity property, and the diagonal elements actually don't make sense because W1 and W1 will always coexist, W2 and W2 will always coexist. So we don't worry about the diagonal elements here. It is the off diagonal elements which really matter, and it's a symmetric matrix. Now this symmetric matrix is furthermore being used for defining these global vectors. Now how does this come about? Let me just explain that a little bit. Okay. So this is not totally new. This kind of using these kind of co-occurrence matrices to come up with a kind of vector representation, it is not a totally new idea. So what is new in glove? So what is new in glove? I'll explain right now. Typically what has happened is in the past this matrix, let me call this matrix as C, which is the co-occurrence matrix. Now the C is obviously having several entries which are the xij's, which I just mentioned, x12, x13 and so on, and likewise it's a symmetric matrix. Now let us say every word has a representation as a vector. So let us say the word 1 has a representation as a vector which is v1, word 2 has a representation as a vector which is v2, and so on. Now if somehow we are able to create vectors such that, let me call it v1 dot v2, for example. Let us say, I'm just putting a question mark because this is not really the way it is finally going to happen. Let us say this happens to be x12. Okay. So let us say we are able to create vectors such that their inner product is something where out of any two vectors you are creating a number. Now we know that this is a number. So if we are able to create this, yes, it does. Usually inner products are symmetric. So we do have this property that v2 dot v1 is also equal to the same x21, which is actually equal to x12. So this property is met. So could it be that we are able to create vectors whose inner product becomes equal to x12? Okay. Now, this is probably the approach that was taken in the past before GloVe. But what in GloVe they realized is this is not going to work, and there's a very nice reason why it's not going to work. Okay, so let me give the background behind that reason. So we already in the Word2Vec we realized something interesting. We realized that the vector corresponding to king minus the vector corresponding to queen was equal to the vector corresponding to man minus the vector corresponding to woman. And this was a very nice property. This came in Word2Vec, and this was probably one of the reasons why Word2Vec really became very popular, because it ended up arriving at certain relations which only somebody who has really understood the language can come up with. Now, ideally we want the GloVe also to figure out that there is this kind of relation between these vectors. Now, why is this at contradiction with this? Okay, so let us say there is a V king in this GloVe embedding, and let us say there is a V queen. Now, this was in Word2Vec. Let us say we have a V king minus V queen, and we want it to be equal to V man minus V woman. I'm just giving some example. I'm trying to give the motivation for why this is wrong. Okay, basically using the vectors dot product to be the co-occurrence count, why it won't work. I'm going to explain that to you, and also in the process we'll realize what works. Okay. So now let us say there is a third word, for example clothes. Okay, let us say there is a third word which is clothes. So we have king, queen, man, woman, and clothes. Now let us say we do the dot product. So corresponding to clothes, there is going to be a GloVe embedding of V clothes. We really do not know what this GloVe embedding is. I mean, we are trying to figure it out. So let us say we have a V clothes, which is the GloVe embedding for the word clothes. Okay, just as V king and V queen were all the GloVe embedding vectors for the corresponding words. Okay, now I'm trying to argue why this is at contradiction with the co-occurrence count. So I'll show that to you. So now let us say we do the same V king minus V queen, and we take the dot product with V clothes, and let us assume that it is true that this is same as V man minus V woman, and because of the fact that V king minus V queen, I mean, let us assume that this is true. So we take the dot product of this on both sides with V clothes. So what do we get? So we can any vector, when we do dot products, we can actually expand it. This is the distributive property. So we are assuming it to have the usual properties of vectors. So we end up having a V king dot product with V clothes minus V queen dot product with V clothes, and same thing on this side, V man dot product with V clothes minus V woman dot product with V clothes. Now we said that this is same as the co-occurrence matrix of king and clothes. So this is a co-occurrence count. So let us say this is the X king clothes. So what does this mean? We are assuming that if V king, the GloVe vector dot product is actually giving the co-occurrence count of king and clothes. That means the number of time king and clothes coexist in the corpus. So the corpus consists of several documents. So we are looking at, let us say the corpus consists of 100 documents, and each document consists of maybe another 1,000 words or approximately 1,000 words. We are looking at all the documents in which king and clothes coexist, and the count of the co-occurrence. Now, if we are going to do this, this is going to be minus x queen clothes, right? And this is going to be equal to x man clothes minus x woman clothes. Okay, now we know that this is actually, is it possible to have this relation to be true? Now I'll explain why it is very, very unlikely. Now, in general, let us say we have man and woman are very frequently occurring words. So are clothes. So the number of times man and clothes co-occur, number of times woman and clothes co-occur is going to be orders of magnitude higher than number of times king and clothes co-occur and queen and clothes. Why is this? Because typically let us take in a general population, in a city there may be 1,000,000 human beings, and for 1,000,000 human beings you may have one king and one queen. So the number of times I'm just giving an intuitive reasoning here. On the right hand side, things are probably 10 to the power of 6 times more. So it is 1 is to 10 to the power of 6. Why is it 1 is to 10 to the power of 6? Because in general you may expect to have much fewer kings and queens compared to man and woman, which also means that in the corpus of words you end up having more times, you may end up having men and women occurring in the corpus than king and queen. So this is just a very intuitive explanation. I'm not proving anything. I'm just saying why it is very unlikely that this relation is going to be true. Now, if this relation is very unlikely, sorry, I always make this mistake here. Yeah. So if this relation is going to be very unlikely, it means we are almost, there is no hope for having a v word 1 dot v word 2 to be representing x word 1 word 2. So this is almost never, this is not possible, because I just argued it. If it were possible, we would end up with this kind of a contradiction. Because on the one hand we have the co-occurrence words of very rarely occurring words, and we want it to be equal to the co-occurrence count of very frequently occurring words, right? So if this cannot happen, then how can we have a vector embedding which is in some sense giving rise to these co-occurrence counts? Okay, so while the naive way of doing this doesn't work, now we know that there is something else which can work. Just by looking at the same count again,